Let's talk about the learning curve of a brand new trader. You know, a lot of times when you get started in trading, you have these big city dreams, right? Like, hey, I'm going to put this money in the account. By the end of the month, I'm going to have this, then I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have this. And often when we do these things, we have like these crazy, unrealistic expectations, and we don't actually give ourselves and allow for ourselves to make mistakes, but also the ebbs and flows of how real trading education goes. You know, I see it with my students all the time. Like I have my 60-day boot camp. You know, so many times like a student will come in, they'll ace their homework, their quizzes, they get done with the simulator and they're like, all right, like I'm ready to make the big bucks. And oftentimes we think like, hey, I paid for this class, I did everything I was supposed to do, now I gotta make a bunch of money. And what ends up happening is when you have those unrealistic expectations, you end up failing really right out of the gate because you're thinking I need to make this when really your skill level and experience says I can make this. And that just comes in with time. So when you really think of like the learning curve of a new trader, it's never linear and it's definitely not exponential. There are fits and starts along the way. But the big thing is to keep doing your work every single day, like no matter what. When you are a new trader, your learning curve won't just be in this smooth manner. You know, oftentimes you may start out and you could be really hot in the beginning. You know, I've seen traders come in, make 6 figures in a handful of months, and they think, okay, I've got this down, and then boom, right? They take a couple losses, and now things can start spiraling out of control. The big thing when you're brand new is think about like your nightly and morning routines. And no matter if you have like a great day or a bad day, you have to hack at that work every single day. Your chart work, I got to look at 1,000 charts a day. Okay, if that's your goal, you've got to do that whether you made $500, lost $500, you got to fight with your wife, you fight with your boss. Like if that's part of your daily routine, then that's how you have to do it. The consistency of your own personal output is what's going to smooth out your trading learning curve. But what often will happen is when we have some success, we get a little bit lax. We feel like, okay, I've made it now. I don't have to do 1,000 charts a day. I don't have to journal my trades. And once you start to let things lax, all of the sudden, at some point, it may not be the next day or the day after, but at some point your results will start to mimic that personal output that you're putting in. So no matter what, the best way to really smooth things out, have like a specific program for your actual homework, but then have a very, very specific program on your improvement, your continued education of trading. Hey, this week I have a goal of learning this. This week I have a goal of learning this. And then you have that daily stuff. I'm going to go through 1,000 charts every day. That's what I personally do. I think that's the best way to actually get really, really good at technical analysis. Scanning. Even if you have 3 or 4 really good ideas for the next day or the next week, you still want to go through every single chart you can. It's going to train your eyes to patterns that are working and not working in any current market. But more importantly than that, it's going to build up that muscle memory so you can really start to internalize when stocks make moves and what that particular look is before they start going. And if you can do that, your learning curve is going to be a lot better than it is if you're just all over the place. If you have randomness in your output, you're going to have randomness in your results. I get emails and phone calls like every day from people like, hey, I took your class in 2018. I was really gung-ho. Then I got a promotion. I kind of fell off. Now I'm like getting back into the swing of things. And so what ends up happening, like I get this kind of phone call like every day. When you take time off from your doing your homework, your lessons, then you're essentially starting at zero every single time. To get going at this, whether you're trading, simulating, or just watching the market, you've got to be doing your chart work you've got to be doing your journaling. And if you can do that, your learning curve is going to be very smooth. But remember expectations. You can't go in thinking, I've got to make XYZ money this day, that day. When you have that, you almost never hit it. Our job is to trade good stocks and great patterns and manage our risk. So focusing on good, solid trades, that's your sole job, not the end result. Guys, if you want to have a great 2022, remember your daily output is the only thing you can control. Get yourself a goal, 1,000 charts a day, and you're going to make a lot of progress. From there, all you got to do is always keep journaling, and get as much data as possible. That's what's going to give you that confidence that you need to really step your game up and also step your size up. Guys, let's go kick ass in 2022.